Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Linda Abu Khader, and I'm from the marketing team at BusinessLink. BusinessLink is the leading provider of business setup services. Today, Mr. Hatem, the CEO of BusinessLink, is going to answer all your questions to know more about the Saudi market and investment there. Before we get started, if you have any questions during the presentation, please type them in the chat box. We will have time for the question at the end of the webinar. And the recorded version of this webinar will be available after the end of this webinar. Welcome again. We'll share with you a screen now. Oh, welcome, welcome. We have a lot of people joining now. Welcome everyone who is joining us now. Our presenter today is Mr. Hatem ElSafty. Mr. Hatem is the Managing Director and Corporate Legal Advisor for BusinessLink in the UAE and KSA. Mr. Hatem has assisted many entrepreneurs and SMEs in setting up business across the globe. With decades of experience in the field of business consultancy, he is well versed in the business laws of the region. His extensive industry knowledge has allowed him to build the key relations with concerned government authorities that he can leverage when assisting with company formation. Having set up some of the biggest names in the UAE and KSA, including Gymnasium and Create Media, Hatem ElSafty, along with his team of expert consultants, have positioned BusinessLink among the top business consultancy in the region. Hello, Mr. Hatem, and welcome. Can you hear me, Mr. Hatem?
Linda.
Welcome, Mr. Hatem. Thank you for joining us today to tell us more about the Saudi market and the investment in the Saudi Arabia.
Sure. Yeah, hi Linda, hi everyone. Today we'll be sharing with you the frequently asking question by our clients, and we also ask you to share your questions with us so we can answer you during this webinar. Let's start, Linda, with a few questions which is the clients usually ask us.
Mr. Hatem, what are the activities that GCC National can set up in Saudi Arabia?
For GCC National, they can actually have all type of activities. There is no limits. They can start a fresh company. They are not like how the foreign national companies have to start their businesses. The requirements are different. So they can have their business in just they visit the Saudi Arabia in a few days. Of course, they have to be with the right company to assist them. They do the company formations, so we can limit or reduce the time where they stay in Saudi Arabia to get their company trade name approved and the activities as well the license. To make it short in terms of time spent in Saudi Arabia.
Mr. Hatem, can you please tell us what are the documents that needed for foreign investor to open a company in Saudi?
In Saudi Arabia, has the foreign national companies has a few requirements. Starts with the company has to be an existing company, more than a year old. It has to be a limited liability company, have the last year audit report showing a net profit around 500,000, equal to Riyal Saudis. There will be some more requirements, depends on the activities, but here we are explaining the basic requirements with, of course, the activities of services industries. Like we are talking about, let's say the majority of businesses going to Saudi nowadays, when it comes to constructions, when it comes to other services like marketing, IT services, car repairs could be, and building maintenance, so on. So this type of companies, if the shareholders are foreign nationals, so they have to come with these requirements, as I mentioned, the license, memorandum of association, and audit reports with 500,000 above as a net profit. And again, as I mentioned, there could be more requirements that depends on the activities. The clients, they can reach us. We will be mentioning our contact number end of this webinar, so they can reach us, and they can, our business consultant, they can assist them, explaining more about the requirements. And yeah, you can carry on, Linda.
Yeah, Mr. Hatem, most of the questions are like, what is the difference between SAGIA and MISA? Are they different government offices, or they are the same?
Here we can explain the client, yeah, because client get confused about SAGIA and MISA. Actually, SAGIA and MISA, they are the same authority, the Ministry of Investment in Saudi. Since they was named as a SAGIA 5 years ago. Actually, we also started 5 years ago. We was one of the business consultants who used to communicate with Ministry of Investments, where they was named as SAGIA. And later on, after Corona, they have changed the name of the authority and even the website to MISA, which is Ministry of Saudi Investments. They are the service provider of the registering any of the foreign national companies all around the world.
Mr. Hatem, other questions are, what are the legal entities that are allowed in Saudi Arabia?
The legal entities allowed in Saudi Arabia, they are not too many, but they are, let's say, as of now, it is limited to either a branch, if the company wants to establish a branch in Saudi Arabia, which we all know the branch, it's like an extension, or it's like another branch in other country, will hold the same name, same activities. But in Saudi Arabia, as per the legal, corporate legal structure, the shareholder, the managing director will be only one director. When it comes to the second option of subsidiary, having a subsidiary, and subsidiary will be the limited liability independent company, Saudi company, limited liability with one shareholder. The shareholder will be the foreign national company, 100%, without interference of any other, let's say, local shareholder. Especially we are talking about the services, because I don't want our clients to get confused, because some other activities it will need, which we will talk about it later, like a trading activities of engineering consultancies, which need a Saudi partner if they cannot meet the requirements. However, let's make it clear to our clients that to establish in Saudi Arabia as a foreign company in service sector, you don't need to have a Saudi partner at all. And also, you don't have to deposit any capital. I know these questions will come later, but the capital of investments, it just have to be mentioned in memorandum of association, which we usually ask the clients how much the capital you're expecting to invest or how much the capital you would like to mention. But usually client ask if this capital, it has to be deposited or has to be kept somewhere. No, we tell, we just, have to make it clear that this in the capital of investment, it just have to be mentioned in the memorandum of association, but not to be deposited anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. It's very helpful. Another question, what are the activities? You already mentioned some of the activities that legal entities can open in Saudi Arabia. They are asking that foreigners can establish in the kingdom. What are the top activities?
Top activities we can see nowadays is the construction. Since we all know that Saudi Arabia have a lot of projects coming and the vision of 2030. So we have a lot of expected projects to be completed before this timeline. And we also know about NEOM. So a lot of also projects going on in Riyadh, Jeddah, uptown Jeddah. So the construction activities and whatever related to constructions when it comes to supply, like machines or maintenance of machines or supplying of the products required to build the or to build this project or to reach to their levels. So there are a lot of related activities which will be also very successful in Saudi. We can see also since Saudi are within their vision to reach the maximum level of technologies and AI and so on. So the companies which they are experts in providing the services of information technologies and also as well the marketing and the other services related, they are very successful in Saudi Arabia, as well as the restaurant activities are doing very well. As we know, Saudi, especially in winter time, they have a lot of entertainments. That's also helps a lot the companies which is do provide that services related to entertainment activities. They are very successful as well. These are few of them, but also the supply of building material, the supply of the petrol and gas, the products, the supply of machinery. Actually, there are a lot of activities which are very active and very successful in Saudi Arabia, which I advise the client, our clients or the investors who are in this type of fields, they should immediately take the opportunity and take an action to move to Saudi Arabia. As we all can see, nowadays Saudi Arabia is like becoming the number one country to invest, and it's a huge country with a huge number of people lives there, either from the foreign national or from the local nationals. So the opportunities are a lot.
Amazing. I'm sure attendees are feeling great insights now, having great insights. My next question, Mr. Hatem, is it is required to have an office space at the time of registration?
See, at the time of registering the company, of course, the company has to have an address, which we provide within our package, the national address, which will be a valid national address, and it can be used to open a bank account. It can be used to do the employments. And we also have a business center in Saudi, which clients can visit us and have a look at it. And I believe in the first 5 minutes you have played the video showing our business center in Saudi. So the clients, they are welcome to visit us. Of course, we are in Riyadh as a city. We are in King Fahd Street in Raya, so the Almas Tower. So the clients they are welcome to come and visit us. By the way, we are giving a free legal advice to our clients. They can sit with us any number of times. They can sit and understand the regulation of incorporating companies in Saudi. They can understand the documents, the process, and we are the one who, the best company doing the company formation in the very short time, because we can hear from other clients who's communicating with us that they have come to know it takes 6 months, it takes 3 months, it takes 5 months. We promise the clients that within 20 working days, we can get your company established in Saudi Arabia. We can guarantee return back even the money back to you if we don't complete the process within 20 working days. I believe we can go for the next question.
Amazing, Mr. Hatem. It's very helpful. Thank you. Since they are opening a company in Saudi Arabia, it is required to have a manager or a managing director in KSA? Do they need to be present at the initial stage?
You don't need to be there at all. We will just have to have a power of attorney to our team in Saudi, whom will be handling all the process from A to Z, without involvement from anyone from the company, the parent company. We just have to contact our team to explain to them the requirement, the legal entity, the documentation, and we assist, especially the clients who are established in UAE. We are assisting them to arrange the documents, to get it notarized by Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Saudi Embassy. And we do the power of attorney through our private notary, so the client doesn't have to waste their time going anywhere. So they can just sit in their office, do their work, and our team, our PRO team, can collect the documents and do all the necessary attestations after we agree on the process and the documents required. And Linda, let me explain one of clients they are asking. I believe sometimes clients ask, are there option of establishing the company as fresh entity, like what we experience in UAE, for example, and even in Qatar, Bahrain, most of the GCC countries, in Europe even, they have there is an option of establishing a fresh company. Some clients, they get the wrong information, totally wrong information, that this option is not available at all. I just would like to clear this point with our clients that the option is there, but it could be a little bit higher budget, because the clients who wants to establish a fresh company, they can get an resident visa as an investor visa, which is cost 100,000 a year, or they can pay one time 800,000, which will be valid for lifelong. And after getting this premium iqamah, as they call it in Ministry of Investment, the premium iqamah, once they get the premium iqamah, they can establish a fresh company. But looking at the investments, which is most of the clients think in that way, if this investment is going to increase or less their investments, here we have to tell the client, in this option you are increasing your investment by 100,000, which you can avoid it if you already have a company established more than a year old, have the audit report and everything available. Then you can establish your company through your corporate existing company without investing another 100,000 or 800,000 to get the premium iqamah or the premium resident visa to establish a fresh company from scratch. So this is what the answer. I would like to mention to our clients.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Hatem. It's amazing. One of the questions we have in the chat box is asking about the free zones. Can you tell us more about the 4 economic zones in Saudi Arabia and what are the benefits the investors can get from these zones?
The free zones being announced by the government of Saudi, I believe it was during Ramadan's time. It's talking about different activities related to mainly the manufacturing businesses, the trading businesses, also the IT and the technology services licenses, which they have mentioned 4 economic zones like King Abdullah Economical Zone, and we have, I believe, few of them I don't recognize the names now. In Jazan also there is one, and they are free. They will have less percentage when it comes to imports of products inside Saudi. They will have less localization percentage, as we know. Or let's, by the way, explain to our client this point as well. Then, because we usually people ask, and what about the localization system in Saudi? Do we have to have a Saudi national within our team or within our investments? Here we can explain to the clients that when we establish the company and we get the commercial registration completed, if the company is a subsidiary, especially we are talking about subsidiary companies, the Ministry of Labor, or the Ministry of Investment, sorry, they will give allocated 2 quota for the directors, who can be hired and get the resident visa in the company sponsorship without localization. Then the companies who will be doing hiring from overseas or from local employments to transfer to their resident to their establishment, of course, they will need to hire a Saudi national. The Saudi national, it has to be an active or inactive, depends on what companies they were required. However, the quota system in Saudi, it works like it's mostly the 30% of your hiring has to be a Saudi national. That is this is the, let's say, not the minimum, because some activities sometimes it goes 50% of hiring has to be a Saudi national. Some activities 100%. Some activities, especially when it comes to manufacturing licenses, it is very less. It is 1 to 9. When one Saudi can get up to 9 quota. So it's depends on activities and depends on let's say the company or the investors, the recruitment plan. Because we also experience some clients who just want to establish in Saudi with a minimum presence of employees, just to understand the value of business, the volume of business, what they can get from the Saudi markets. So they might hire only one person, the director. And of course, when it comes to the director has to visit Saudi. You asked me this question a little bit a while ago. I forgot to tell you that the managing director, of course, we need him to come up once the license, the commercial registration had been issued, to activate the government portal, Muqim, FOA, and other portals of especially the Chamber of Commerce. It has to be activated when the directors come to Saudi, and then we will issue the entry permit for the client. Once the entry permit issued, then the client's needs, or the managing director need to go back to home country, or if he's resident in GCC, there is an option to go to the GCC. I mean, let's say in Dubai, they have to go and issue the entry permits. Just hold on.
Mr. Hatem,
Yes.
one of We have a question in the chat box from Muhammad. He's asking if the free zone company type like UAE, zero taxes. The free zone in Saudi Arabia, zero taxes for corporate?
There is a corporate tax which is payable yearly that has been introduced. It's like more than 10 years ago in Saudi Arabia. That is 20%. Of course, in let's say for the 5-6 years when SAGIA authority implemented, there is a corporate tax which is introduced for corporate companies registered in Saudi Arabia, where they have to pay 20% out of their net profits. Let's clear this point as well, because some clients they think that the 20% is paid up on the capital. It's not paid up on the capital of investments. It's paid out of the net profits. So, if like assume the company invests or they create or they generated 100,000 as a net profit during the year. So 20,000 is the payable zakat. And let's also clear this point because some client ask what is our zakat and what is the corporate.
Yeah, we are going to ask about zakat.
Yeah, they are asking about
the percentage of VAT in Saudi Arabia.
That is different, Linda. Yeah, the VAT is different topic, because VAT is like how we experience in UAE. We have 5% VAT, which is clients mention in their invoices when they invoice their clients, and it's payable to the government every 3 months. The same thing if they are reaching the level of 375,000 as the income, then taxes the VAT is applicable to them. The same thing in Saudi Arabia. If the clients knows or they have the opportunity of business to reach the 375,000 as an investment, yes, they have to be registered in VAT authorities, and they have to pay the 15%, which they are claiming from clients and pay to the VAT authority every 3 months, every quarter. And related to, again, let's clear about the matter of the corporate tax, like a zakat or the corporate tax. So yes, the corporate tax is 20% in Saudi Arabia, and it is payable out of the net profit generated by the company or the investor end of the year. Yeah. What else, Linda, we have? What other questions we have?
We have, they asked about the duration or timeline for setting up the company in KSA.
Yeah.
Just mention.
Yeah, see, this usually we explain clients that for our, let's say the job task which we handle in Saudi Arabia, we promise 15 to 20 days to be completed, especially if it's a service company, not into trading or not into especially the engineering consultancy, which Linda, we need to explain these two activities to our clients as well. So 15 to 20 working days that we guarantee that the completion of our work. And why is 15 to 20 days? Let's explain. In subsidiary company, since it's an independent Saudi company which need to have a trade name booking, this is where we get just a little bit more delayed, because clients he may needs the trade name to be having activity, specified activity or specified name. But as we have to explain the client that the Ministry of Investment, they consider the parent company name as a trade name, even for a subsidiary company. They cannot name a different name. But for those clients who has an product, especially clients who has a product or they have a trademark which they are selling or they want to sell it in Saudi, we can provide the clients of trademark registration after the completion of the license or the commercial registration in Saudi Arabia. We can assist the client to have the trademark registration, which they can use it in their in there, like we have established, I believe, one of the big chains like Papa John's. We established their license in Saudi. They have a franchise agreement and they have their own trademark. So we assist them to register with municipality, to get the municipality approval, to get the trademark on their signboards. So I mean to say, if the clients has a trademark registration, or they have a product they're going to sell in Saudi, or they are agents of one of the products, they can do the trademark registration, and we can assist them to get the trademark registration completed. And before I forgot, let me explain to the client about the trading activities and engineering consultancy.
Yes.
In general, the consultancy's activities are limited to the Saudi national only. It's not available to all the foreign national unless they meet the requirements. And since engineering consultancy is one of the major activities clients ask about it, so in regards to the engineering consultancies, if they want to have it as 100% foreign national investments, so they require to have a 10 years parent company, 10 years old, post limited liability company, and this company has to have 4 branches in 4 different countries. So if the clients has the requirements, as I said, 10 years old parent company and 4 branches in 4 different countries, of course, all these documents has to be attested, and then we can approach Ministry of Foreign Investment to get 100% foreign national company with the activity of the engineering consultancy. Going to the trading activities, the trading activities also has, let's see, before I forgot, if in case the company doesn't have a 10 years old company and doesn't have the 4 branches, they have the option of establishing a company, again, as a subsidiary, but they have to take a Saudi partner with minimum 25% as a partner with them. And the partner, the Saudi partner, has to be registered with engineers community, as well as the director who will be hired from the engineering company, who will be coming from the foreign company. He also has to be registered, and then we have to attach these documents with the applications to get the approval. So let's say in short line, there will be 2 options. First option, if the company existing more than 10 years and have the 4 branches in 4 different countries, then yes, they can establish as 100% yeah, for investment. Yeah, and if they don't have if they don't have this option, then they have to go for the second solution, which they have to have a Saudi partner with them with minimum 25%. When it comes to trading activities, it also requires that the company has to have 3 branches. It has to have a parent company with another 2 or 3 branches outside, I mean, in different countries. And this document has to be attested, and then in that case, we can have 100% shareholding company as a foreign national without Saudi partnership. If again they don't have the requirements of 3 branches plus parent company, then they have to take a Saudi partner with them with a minimum of 25% in the shareholder. Let me also explain one point, which is very technical. When at the time of establishing the company, drafting the memorandum of association, we can limit the percentage of profit for the local. If he's not a very active local, and that is depend on what they have agreed, what the agreement between the foreign company and the Saudi partner. And if the clients wants to know more about it, they can communicate us. We have so many options in that regard, then we can explain to them, especially to these complicated activities, trading. We have so many other options. We can explain it to the clients when they reach to us. When they, also in terms of the other activity, the engineering consultancy, also we can give them another or more options related to these activities.
Amazing, amazing. That's so helpful. Mr. Hatem, they ask about the bank. Which bank you will recommend in Saudi Arabia?
Yes, see, we are working closely with Riyadh Bank. We have a solid agreement with them and communication to establish to open a bank account. We do assist, and also other banks, Rajhi Bank, Sab Bank, but they have different requirements. We consider Riyadh Bank as a first option because Riyadh Bank has a limit. I mean, they are not asking many requirements, especially when it comes to office, because most of other banks, they are asking for office inspection to approve the bank account. But in Riyadh Bank, they can avoid the visit of the office. And as I mentioned, we have good contacts there, so we can just get the bank accounts open as fast as we can. Any more questions, Linda?
More questions. We have more questions on the chat box. They are asking about if the corporate tax of 20% makes SACIA very expensive for SMEs. What other option do we have? These questions.
In case, let's say the government of Saudi, they have promised that the 4 economic zones will have less requirements, which is not yet very clear from the side of Saudi government. We haven't yet received a clear picture of how much will be the percentage and how potential will be these 4 economic zones. But I believe, I'm sure it will be have a potential points. But to answer these questions, there is no other option to escape from paying this much of taxation of 20%. Unless if it is a GCC companies, because we have also experienced that, let's say for some clients, especially from UAE, who has partners from UAE national or GCC countries, they prefer to go for that option as well, which we can explain it again. This is one of the things we can explain it to our clients. Once they reach to us, if they communicate with us, we can give them other options and that related. So we'll explain it to clients when they reach us.
Yeah.
Other options, what other questions, Linda?
We have a lot of questions from the attendees. They are amazing. They are asking, one of them asking if an Indian national wants to start a construction or contracting firm in Saudi, what are the options available?
The only available option is to establish as an entity, as a foreign national entity. If they're even located in India or located in any other countries, they have to just maintain the required documents, which is license, memorandum of association, and the last year audit report, plus power of attorney to our team in Saudi. And the audit report just lists again, because these are one of the main concern, especially for our clients in India, because the number we are asking to show as a net profit, sometimes they struggle to provide this audit reports. But it's necessary to show the audit report of the last year. Let's say for the year 2022, they have to show a net profit of 500,000. It could be a little bit lesser. We can get the application approved, but it should not be less than 400,000. So with our connections, we can get it successfully registered. But it should not be less than 400,000, equal to Saudi Riyal as a net profit of the last year, plus the other documents, as explained, the license, memorandum of association, and the last year audit report, and power of attorney as well.
Great, great. Mr. Hatem, there is another question. What are the legal requirements to open a real estate broker company in Saudi Arabia? Is it possible a foreigner can start a company without a local? Is yes, what are the requirements? This question from Jesslyn Matthews.
Fine. See, the brokerage real estates that is available without Saudi national, if it is about to market real estate products or real estate properties, that it doesn't have a Saudi involvement, but the complications comes for the developments. If the clients are looking to develop properties in Saudi, first of all, Mecca and Jeddah, especially Mecca, are not allowed for the foreign nationals. Other cities can have as foreign nationals as a developers, but investments are huge, or is for depend on the capability of the company. But we are talking about the minimum of 300,000 above, 300 million above, depend on the projects. This is something. This number can be changed depending on what project you have to develop in Saudi. But back to the point, back to the question what client asked, if about the property marketings or project, this type of activity, it can be 100% owned by a foreign national, which is again require the same documents as I mentioned before.
Amazing. One of the other questions that they ask about, if they have the main branch in Bahrain and they want to open a branch in Saudi Arabia, is it all the documents? What are the documents that are required? The main branch in Bahrain.
See, the documents remain same, but let's clear one more point, that because sometimes clients gets confused about it. It's we need to know who are the shareholders, what are the nationalities of shareholders, because the documents we have mentioned many times as of now regarding foreign national companies. I mean here, when I say foreign national companies, I mean it is owned by foreign nationals. It is not owned by GCC nationals. Okay, so the clients has to understand if the company owned by GCC nationals, the required, which I mentioned before, that license, memorandum of association, and audit reports, and all these documents are not required. Even power of attorney, we don't need. All what we need just do the trade name booking, because this is something which take more time, and clients can just come to Saudi Arabia directly if he's a GCC national. And we do the registration from our office in Riyadh all over Saudi Arabia. It can be Dammam, it can be Jeddah, can be anywhere above Saudi Arabia, that we do the paperwork in our office in Riyadh. So let's just make it clear to our clients when we talk about foreign nationality, foreign investments means it's owned by foreign nationalities. But for GCC nationals, there are requirements we have mentioned are not applicable to them.
They are asking also about, is the Saudi nationalization scheme part of your service in Saudi Arabia and also PRO service related?
See, they're providing a partnership with Saudi national as a professional corporate service provider. I don't advise, especially us as a BusinessLink, because I just want to make it very clear and transparent to our clients that we don't get involved in this matter, because in business-wise, in future, there could be having some misunderstanding or has any complications between them. So we as a BusinessLink, we don't like to get involved in such matters. So that's why I always, tell our clients who get in touch with me in this regards of providing a Saudi national, we don't get involved in this matter.
Thank you, Mr. Hatem. Mr. Hatem, being an associate and a corporate business advisor, can you put some light, like a wrap up for the investing in Saudi Arabia? What are the main aspects? Why you advise people to do the investment in Saudi Arabia?
See, the first thing I can tell that the everyone, the people now, they understand the big demand and the huge push to Saudi Arabia. There are some numbers we can just talk about it, about for example, the education population, which is over than 34 million people in Saudi Arabia. The businesses moving to Saudi Arabia from all around the world. The numbers and the indications we have in our records is increasing daily. And you can say every day we have a lot of inquiries and a lot of people who are willing to invest in Saudi, and they are inquiring and submitting their documents, willing to invest in Saudi. That's why we tell our clients, just take your decision as soon as possible to not lose your potential, let's say, investments available in Saudi now. Get in touch with us. We will give you the full free advice, corporate advice, and the legal advice on how to establish your company in Saudi. We can also advise you what are the activities, successful businesses in Saudi nowadays. But let me tell you that all around the businesses, like 80–90% of all the businesses starting in Saudi, they are doing well. But just out of our experience, because some clients ask what are the struggling things happen to investors in Saudi. I will tell the clients very clearly, if you establish a business in any part of the world, including Saudi, and if you don't have a proper presence, like we have a few clients who just established their country, but the directors are always there in Saudi, they are not active. So there is no business success in this route. So when you establish a business in any country, and especially in Saudi, because it has many requirements and involvement from the managing director, so the advice here that they should be active. And also, one of the questions asked by client, how long I have to stay in Saudi, or how long I can stay outside Saudi. So, and how long is the visa or license validity in Saudi? So the license validity is 1 year. You have to renew every year. The resident visa or the Iqama, it is valid for 1 year. It has to be renewed every year. The validity where you have to stay in Saudi, it is not limited, but when you stay outside Saudi, it is limited up to 6 months. So before completing of 6 months, you have to come make an in and out, even for 1 or 2 days. And that's it. And also the costs. Let's talk about the cost of the resident visa in Saudi. Its government fees is 14,000 Riyal Saudi is the cost of it. It goes less when it is into the production or in the industrial license. It goes up 1,000 Riyal Saudi, the cost of the resident visa for the employees, but not for the director. The director remains 14,000, but for the employees, it's 1,000 Riyal Saudi. And as I mentioned, the quota given by the government, by Ministry of Labor for the industrial license, it could reach to between 9 to 12 quota for each one Saudi.
Great insights. Mr. Hatem, we have a lot of questions from the attendees. We hope we can answer all these questions, but we have to conclude the webinar, and the attendees can send the questions to our email at info@businesslinkuae.com.
Yes.
Mr. Hatem, do you want to add anything? Do you want to tell us more about the services that you offer in BusinessLink, or any helpful information?
Yes, sure. See, we as a BusinessLink, like how they say, we are one shop for all the services, one-stop shop. So we provide, starting from the legal advice, where we explain the client the requirement based on what activities he has in Saudi. We explain all the requirements. We take forward the document attestation and legalization if the client based in UAE. And by the way, we need to just also let our clients know that we are based, the head office or the headquarters, it's in UAE, and we are also having a branch, as we are talking about Saudi Arabia. It's been 5 years now, and we have a branch in Egypt, in Cairo, and we have a branch also in UK. So the clients can reach any of our offices, and the clients can reach us, of course, in our email, and our contacts numbers will be mentioned in the end of the webinar. Back to the services, we do all type of services in Saudi Arabia in terms of legal advice, company registration through MISA, the Ministry of Commerce registration, the trade name, the PRO services we provide for clients. We have many big number of clients who has many number of employees. And we also assist in getting municipality approval, activity approval, like for logistic companies, for transportation companies, for Aramco. So we have a hand in each and every government services in Saudi Arabia. We just make sure the clients are happy. We work on clients' references more than our marketing. Do what we are doing in terms of marketing. We have a lot of happy clients. Our webinar attendants, they can visit our website, see our clients, and see also the testimonials in our YouTube or our Instagram, and all the social media channels. They can reach us, and they will come to know more about what we do as a terms of services and how happy clients we have.
Thank you so much. It's great information. Thank you, Mr. Hatem. We appreciate having you today. And thank you for the whole attendees. We are so grateful to have this webinar, and we hope that the information will be helpful for all of the people. Thank you, Mr. Hatem. Thank you.
Thank you very much.